Welcome to kraft-tex University. I'm Betsy.
And I'm Gailen, and today we're talking about weaving kraft-tex.
Ooh, fun! This is going to be so fun. So we're doing weaving.
Yay!
What do you got?
Well, I have weaving on the bags in this Charlie backpack pattern.
Love this pattern.
So
Very cute.
There's two different kinds of weaving in that pattern. I get my inspiration from paper weaving websites. And there's tons of paper weaving on Pinterest and Instagram, websites dedicated to it, where you can find all sorts of different paper weaving ideas. So you can follow paper weaving patterns with kraft-tex exactly how you would with paper if you want, but I do like to add a little bit of an embellishment. So I stitched down the sides of my strips. So on this one, I only stitched down the sides of the 1/2-inch strips. I did not stitch down the sides of a 1/4-inch strip.
Did you use your special little foot?
I did. I used my blind hem foot, so it goes right along the edge. It makes it nice and easy.
Because those are beautiful. Your top stitching is amazing.
This one stitched down the sides, but this one's also stitched in the middle of the gray. And this is a more complicated pattern where you end up laying out the gray weaving first and then sewing it together and then weaving the purple through it. That's all explained in the pattern. This is the pattern that's much more like regular paper weaving patterns that we'll be doing today. And we're going to do that kind of time lapse super fast. So
great. Something a little simpler that is a good first step.
And you can put weaving on anything. Anytime you would use kraft-tex, you could use woven kraft-tex. So in weaving, there are warp and weft strips. The warp strips are the stationary strips that go vertically, and the weft strips are these strips that you're going to be weaving into the verticals, and those are horizontal. The first thing you need to do is sort of figure out the layout of your strips, and you're going to tape them down, your warp strips. If they are butted together, that's no problem. Just butt them together and tape them down. If they need to be separated, like in this pattern, you can use a rotary cutter, like a gridded rotary cutter mat, or you can use a ruler. And some projects like this Charlie backpack pattern, the pattern we're doing today is for the wristlet. And this pattern comes with a paper template that you can tape things down to follow along. It keeps it all very straight. But today we're going to use a ruler. And for tape, I like using maker tape because it tears really easily, it comes off easily, and it sticks to everything like this paper. So it'll hold things securely, but it also comes off really easily. So that way we can get started, and what I'm going to do first is just tape down all of my warp strips, and then I'll start weaving in the horizontal weft strips. So as you go along, you may notice that some of your thinner kraft-tex strips are kind of curved like this one. Not a problem. You can iron it if you want, or just kind of pull it the direction you think it should go. That's better. So now I have woven in my first weft strip. You say that sometimes you can put it under, sometimes it's easier to just flip the piece up. I kind of switch back and forth between them both, and then I'm going to just snug them up to the top of my tape. And if some of these are a little uneven, it doesn't matter. I can smush them over anytime I want. Give them a little nudge. So I did my first weft strip, and now I'm going to start doing the second. This is a super easy pattern. It's just an over-under pattern. And so this first one, I went under the first and over the second. This next one, I'm going to go over the first and under the second. Some patterns are more complicated. It's just whichever one you choose. Okay, now I have 4 rows done. And so what you do periodically is you do a row and then you snug them all up until they're nice and tight together. So I'm going to snug these up and then I'm going to tape down the 2 sides. So as you snug your pieces up this way, this is your chance to kind of move the warp strips over. If they're not quite centered, you can just use your nail, you can use a stiletto, anything you want to just kind of shift them over to get them placed exactly where you want them. So in this case, I'm not quite straight across, so I'm going to kind of keep snugging these up until they're all straight across, and I'll give a couple of these a nudge over to make them a little more centered. Now that I have the last strip in, I'm going to keep taping down the sides. When I'm taping the side like here, I'm going to go right next to this first warp strip, and I'll go right next to the last warp strip. But you'll see that I'm also going to tape it again farther away, and that's so that I can fold it over and it's all going to stay, in place when I take it off the paper or the background. Tape is your friend. And I'm going to tape along the bottom. Okay, so once your weave is complete, you will just peel all of your tape off of the background. Now, often only, like on this, just this is being caught, so it's not all stuck down really well. I'm going to take it off. This is why maker tape's so fabulous. It totally sticks to what you want it to, and it doesn't to what you don't. I don't know how it knows. So things that are long like this, I can just fold over. That's going to keep it in place. This bottom, where the strips are longer, I'm just going to put a piece of tape right over the top. And it's okay if I catch this bottom strip, because that'll be easy to peel off after I stitch. So I've taped the 2 sides. Okay, I'll tape all 4. And once you have it all taped, you can take it to your sewing machine and just stitch around the edge if you are going to be using the whole piece. Or what you can do is, if you have a pattern you're going to follow, take your pattern now, put it on top, trace around it, and stitch right inside of that line. Then it's all going to hold in place and you can cut off the extra. So that's it. Now we know how to weave.
That was awesome. So let's see what you come up with. And you can post your photos at hashtag kraft-tex University on Pinterest and Instagram.
Yay!
Got it right. Yay.
That's your homework. Let's see what you weave.
See you next time.
Class dismissed.
Oh, that was bad. Hi, welcome to kraft-tex. Let's do this again.
We're gonna woo.
Bleh.